Jesus Christ to be. Bible says, Pastor Keith preached it last week, that there's a man named Zacchaeus who spent his whole life swindling people, cheating people. He was all about the money. He's all about the Benjamins, all right? He's cheating people to gain money for himself, but yet he sees Jesus, and after one dinner party with Jesus, he gives it all up. He says, in fact, I'll pay back 4 times what I even received and took from other people. You see, the principle is this, SUB30. A lot of us, we love money, we chase money, we think money's very, very important, but I'm here to tell you, in light of who Jesus is, it means nothing. It means nothing in this world. There's a better way to live when we apply godly principles and precepts to our life. Don't hold it tight. Hold it with an open hand. Learn now in your 20s, please, wherever you're at in life, to hold the blessings of God with an open hand. Hold it with an open hand. Jesus is better. Jesus is greater. If you want another principle, I wrote this down. I think about this often. I really do. Someone once told me this: when your heart is open, your hand is open. When your heart is open, your hand is open. I think about tithing. I think about offerings. I think about generous living. Here I am. I'm a believer. I'm a pastor. Good grief. I mean, like, if I say that, man, my heart is truly on Jesus Christ, my heart is truly open to the things of God, then what should happen is simultaneously my hand should be open. But for me to go through life and say, oh man, I really love Jesus. See, here's what I don't get. People try to convince others, and they'll try to convince me or whoever. They'll try to convince you and the people around them that they are really all about God. Man, I love God. Yeah, my heart's definitely open to the things of God, and I love Jesus, and I'm totally all about God. He's my number one. You know, Jesus is my homeboy, the whole thing. Like, I really, really love him, but yet their hand is not open to serve. Their hand's not open to give. Their hand's not open to be generous. And so even though they're trying to convince me of that, I still kind of sit back and shake my head and say, I don't know. I don't know how open your heart really is, because I truly believe if your heart's open, your hand's open. People try to convince, man, I love Jesus, I really do, but do you tithe? Well, no, I just never really got into tithing. I just never really got into giving. Well, are you generous in how you live? Well, not really. I'm more of like a stingy butthole, but like I just, and I just sit back, I shake my head, I just think, man, like, if your heart's open, shouldn't your hand be open? Shouldn't you want to live generously? Shouldn't you want to give? Shouldn't you want to be the type of person that even though you're walking down the street and you're off to do something else, man, when God just pricks your heart to do something, you can stop what you're doing and be generous to someone that's right around you? If your heart's open, your hand should truly be open, man. I 100% believe that. And when I think about Christians, man, it's not even non-Christians. Like, it's most of the flack about tithing and giving, truthfully, it comes from people in the house. Comes from Christians, and they complain about tithing, and they complain about, well, here's what they'll say. Pastor Keith, you'll probably know this to be true. People say, well, look, that's an Old Testament principle, right? Tithing, that's an Old Testament principle. Now, look, I could prove everyone who believes that, I could prove that wrong in 2 seconds. We can go back to Abraham before the law was even written, when Abraham tithed to Melchizedek, but we don't have time to get into all that history. But people say it's an Old Testament principle. The fact is, okay, if you want to bring this idea into the New Testament, then let's look at Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus gave 4 times what he owed. Let's look at the rich young ruler in Luke chapter 18 when he says, Jesus, what do I need to do to be saved? And Jesus gives him a list, and he says, Jesus, I already did all that stuff. What else must I do? And he looks at the rich young ruler and he says, here's what I want you to do. Sell everything and give it to the poor, and then you can come and follow me. Someone's probably like, nah, I'm good with 10%. I'm good. I'm good. See, that's what New Testament does. It's a generous lifestyle. It's saying, man, nothing is better than Jesus. I'll give it all up if it means I can have Jesus. That's what it is inside of the New Testament. And there's a rumor going around the church that says that the church just wants your money. Like, who has ever, show of hands, who's ever heard someone say that? A friend has said that the church just wants your money. There's a rumor. It's all over the United States, man. It's everywhere. Loads of people think. Christians will say it. Non-Christians will say it. Lost people on the side of the street will say it. The church just wants your money. Here, let me deal with this rumor right now here at SUB30 on a Wednesday night. The answer is this. Yes. Yes, of course the church wants your money. Of course they do. You know who else wants your money? The restaurants want your money. The shops want your money. The town center wants your money. The golf course wants your money. The gym wants your money. The hotels want your money. They all want your money. Everyone is after your money. You see, the church is just like all those places in this sense that we also have a vision for our organization. We want to see it grow. We want to see it reach more people. We want to see it expand. We want to see it go to the far corners of the world. But you see, unlike those other places, we are not fueled by profit. We are fueled by lost people coming and finding Jesus. We're fueled and we're motivated by people who are far from God, walking through the doors and finding hope and salvation and life and peace in a man named Jesus Christ. And yes, it takes money along the way to make some of that happen. Do you realize that there are churches that are standing right now in Zimbabwe, in Greece, in Northern Ireland, in Costa Rica, all over the world because some people here at Celebration got faithful in their giving and it allowed churches to be planted somewhere else? I don't even know. We talk about these churches a lot. Maybe you've heard about them. Do you know that there's a church in Zimbabwe with almost 2,000 people that go to it every single week? Celebration Zimbabwe, 2,000 people in Africa receiving the good news of Jesus because faithful people in Jacksonville gave. Do you understand that this past Sunday, there was someone sitting in the seat that you're sitting in right now who gave their life to Jesus Christ for the very first time because months and years ago, there were some people at Celebration Church that decided to be faithful in their giving. And last November, it allowed us to open doors on this property so that more lost people can come in and find Jesus on a Sunday morning. This is what it does. Of course we want your money. The next time someone says that to you, well, that church just wants your money, you can say, yeah, they do. Everyone wants your money. Everyone's after it. And you just get to decide, what do I want my money to be a part of? Do I want it to be a part of furthering the kingdom of God? Seeing lost people come and find Jesus, hope in Jesus? That's way better than a new pair of shoes, a new pair of jeans, whatever, man. It's our goal, it's our mission, it's our mandate. The bottom line is, man, I want to be a person that lives a generous lifestyle. When your heart's open, your hand is open. Number two, the second thing we're tempted to do in regards to money is we are tempted to love money. Number one is we're tempted to serve it. Number two is we're tempted to love it. 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 10, for the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. We've all heard that a million times. The love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. Now, a lot of people get this messed up, so let me share this with you. Money is not good or bad. Money's not good or bad. The love of money is wrong. Money's not good or bad. It's what you do with it. It's what you do with your money. It's funny to me to hear people talk about what they'd do if they had more money. You ever had that conversation? That's a fun topic, around the dinner table. We've all done it. If you had $1 million, what would you do? I'd buy a yacht. I don't know. Everyone talks about that. I've heard people say this. Well, if I had more money, I wouldn't work as much. That's what I've heard people say. Statistically, that's not true. You can research statistics when you get home tonight. Statistically, people who have more money typically work more hours. It's not true. People say, well, if I had more money, I wouldn't be in debt. Again, not true. The majority of people who are in large sums of debt in our nation are actually people that are very, very wealthy. So more money doesn't equal less debt. Well, people say this, well, if I had more money, I'd give more. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. Honestly, it's true because statistically, all those things are wrong. Here's the principle. More money makes you more of what you already are. So in other words, money magnifies. More money just makes you more of what you already are. So if right now you're in college and you're starting your career and you're a poor jerk, if you get more money, you're just going to be a rich jerk. That's all you're going to be. No one's going to like you. You know what I mean? I'm just kidding. We'll love you at SUB30. We will. But that's what it is. Money magnifies. That's what it does. So if you're 25 years old and you're making 30 grand a year, let's say, and you're not tithing, then tomorrow if you start making $3 million, please don't tell me you'll start tithing. Please don't tell me because look, there's no way you'll write the $300,000 check if you can't even write the $3,000 check. Money magnifies. And if you had more of it tomorrow, it'll just simply make you more of what you already are. So right now, whether you're poor or rich or wherever you would put yourself on the totem pole, start the godly principles. Start them now so that when the Lord does release more resource into your hands, you're already ready and knowing what to do with it. Pastor Layton, I don't know if he's in here. He's probably closing up fuse. Pastor Layton and I, we know someone. In fact, Pastor Layton's brother Lawson and some other guys are here, and we all know someone. He's an owner of an NFL team. To this day, he owns an NFL team, and I won't tell you which team so that you won't think whatever of him, but he's a billionaire. Okay, we have been to his house on the East Coast beach house, $30 million. I've been there, okay? Owner of an NFL team, buku dollars, money, okay? He is all about the Benjamins, okay? Absolutely rich. Most of us, we will never see $1 billion in our life. We'll never, ever see it. Maybe Keith Jr., I don't know if you blow up tomorrow, you know what I mean? You and Diddy and everybody else, I don't know, you know. Most of us will never, ever see it, but man, here, I heard this story about this billionaire NFL team owner that when it comes Christmas time, his top level employees, and there's not that many of them, top level employees, he gives them $500 Christmas bonuses. $500. I said the same thing. I was like, what? What? That doesn't even, he's got billions of dollars. He's a billionaire over and over and over. But you see, just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean you're going to be more generous. It doesn't mean that money makes you more of what you already are. It's the principle, man. The love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. Don't love money. Look, it's okay to like it. You're going to need it. You can like it. Don't love it. Ecclesiastes chapter 5 and verse 10 says, whoever loves money never has enough money. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with his income. This too is meaningless. You see, when it comes down to it for many of us, many people are under money's power and they don't even know it. Money is ruling them. And if you're struggling with this area of money and giving and tithing, the real issue isn't how much you make. The real issue is how much you spend, okay? You don't have an income problem. You have a lifestyle problem, which is in turn a spiritual problem. That's what's happening. You don't need to make more money. You need to manage how you're spending your money. You don't need more money. I'll say it like this. You need more Jesus, all right? You need more Jesus. And unfortunately, when people believe that most of their problems in life can be solved if they had more money, then you're still under its influence and you're still a slave to it if you think money will solve it. People think all the wrong things all the time. But look, if you know that you need more Jesus and you bring Jesus into the midst of it, then what he'll do is he'll give you wisdom on how to use what you already got. That's what Jesus does in the midst of our money. If the band wants to go ahead and join me on stage, we're going to get ready to finish. So what's the godly perspective on money? Money. Here's the deal. If you're a Christian, this is the godly perspective.